Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is very upset because illegal immigrants are not eligible for the $1,200 stimulus checks, and she claims this is very unfair. Can you believe this, Rob, at a time like this where so many American citizens are hurting? You've got people like AOC who are crying for illegal immigrants who are a strain on our economy and don't belong here in the first place.
Yeah, I believe it. And I said once that, I think I even tweeted this, that if this package had encompassed everything for illegal aliens, excuse me, the Democrats would have passed it immediately. Mm-hmm. But when it comes, and America should notice this, but when it comes to the simple American citizen, the person who's paying his taxes, the person who's trying to get by, who's trying to help their family, who's trying to get ahead, they turn their backs on them. There is no reason why we should have to wait this long for this bill. But I'm sure Nancy Pelosi thought about it and probably said to herself, hey, they're not going to die anytime soon. They'll be okay. What are the few days going to hurt? Let's wait a couple more days. That shows you the kind of leadership that she does not have. She is willing to sacrifice the American public, playing on their fears and on their concerns that how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to put food on the table? That should have been a no-brainer. They should have immediately went down and said, hey, let's pass this bill now. But she didn't want to give this president a win. She wanted to seem as if though she was still controlling things. She wanted people to say, oh no, Nancy's still in control. And believe it or not, you had a lot of knuckleheads out there saying, Nancy stopped him. But it's like, stopped him from what? From helping American citizens? And I have to say this to all those people who are saying, not my president. When that check arrives in your bank account, make certain that you return it, because your president wouldn't have done this, but the president of the United States would. So all you not my president people, return your not my president checks, okay? Return it.
Absolutely, Rob. I don't know if you've seen this, but a couple weeks ago, Rep. Ilhan Omar actually sent a tweet out praising President Trump and said that good policy is good policy, and you have to credit good policy when it happens. And she was very happy with President Trump's $1,200 to every American citizen that he put out. And then here we are 2 weeks later, and now she is on Twitter bashing the stimulus package and President Trump. It's almost like her handlers must have gotten a hold of her, because what's changed in the last 2 weeks?
I'll tell you what changed. That turban on her head got too tight. I don't believe anything she says. So although she might have been trying to give him a compliment, I think it was a backhanded compliment, unless she saw some way thinking that she and hers were going to get something out of this. But anything that comes out of her mouth is questionable, because unless she's profiting from it, you can't believe her. And the same with AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I mean, she's mad because these illegal people aren't going to get a paycheck. Well, the whole thing is that they're looking at, if we can make it seem as if though we gave them the paycheck, we can go to them and say, hey, vote for us because we gave this to you and not the president. Well, no, I got to give this to President Trump again. He has assembled a team of experts that is next to none. Mnuchin, the guy seems really quiet and whatnot, but man, is he on top of his game. To come up with a plan so quick and so brilliantly, and then to try to negotiate with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, and for the media not to give him props. Well, they're not going to give him props. So it's us citizens journalists, mega media, we have to explain it to our readers and the viewers and the voters that the people that Trump has surrounded himself around are top-notch people who are successes in their private life. So now they're bringing those successes to the government, which they don't have to do. They don't have to try to make a name for themselves because they already have a name in the private citizen world. So what they're doing now is trying to work for the American people, work for the forgotten man. That's what Donald Trump is doing. And when I hear people saying, oh, well, corporations, they're going to get this money, they're going to this and they're going to that, this is what I say. I understand your concern. And as I said earlier, no, they shouldn't use the money to fund their pet peeves or to buy back their stock, to drive up the stock so they can give their CEOs big time money. But what people have to think about and realize is that no bill is perfect. But if we let these companies go down, they shut their doors, people remain unemployed. Okay. If they remain unemployed, and if the companies feel that, hey, we can't do business here, what happens? They move to China, as the president says, China. They move to China or India. We don't want that. We want them to stay here employing our Americans. And not only that, this should be a wake-up call to all these corporations that China should not be or have this big of a footprint in our economy. And I think what should happen right now is that all the jobs that are outsourced in China, in India, Bangalore, and all these other places, right now, they should be ushered back overseas, back here to American soil.
Absolutely.
All the factories that are closed down, turn up the dust off, turn on the lights, start producing that stuff right here. Because a lot of Americans are going to need jobs once this is over. What better way to hire them than to bring the jobs back here and say, hey, we're setting up shop here. This is how we're going to keep this economy going. You look at the car factories and the wine distilleries that are now changing their focus from producing wine or cars to producing respirators and hand sanitizers. This could be an offshoot of what they're doing. Say, hey, now bring the jobs back home, and the jobs, whatever factories were there, what they were doing, bring them here, and we will do all of that stuff here. This is a perfect opportunity. This is a perfect opportunity to get the economy booming again, bringing those jobs back here, and then hiring our people. I'm like, this is the perfect storm, but this is something that we should be looking at. Bringing those jobs back home. Bring them back home, employ our own people. And the economy would then shoot up. Because as, what's his name? Jerome Powell recently said, he said, yeah, I think that we're in a recession. He said, but not the kind of recession that we would normally be in. He said, because the economy is strong. It was strong before this happened. We purposefully said, let's stop things, put the brakes on things so that we don't get more people sick. If people are sick, they can't work. People die. So again, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to bring all these jobs back and to employ a lot of Americans.
The fake news was running amok this week. CBS was busted by Project Veritas staging a fake coronavirus testing facility. It was set up in New York City, I believe, and Project Veritas had hidden cameras where they talked about how they would basically have actors go in through the line and claim they were getting tested for coronavirus to make it look a lot busier than it actually was. It totally blew up in CBS's face. It's the same news station that we just seen a couple of weeks ago use pictures from Italy, the hospitals there, and claim they were from New York City. Then I don't know if you've seen today, Chuck Todd was checked from Meet the Press. He showed a totally edited and deceptive video of Attorney General William Barr. And then we have Vice President Mike Pence. Jimmy Kimmel was busted with some fake news this week, claiming that Vice President Mike Pence was carrying in empty boxes of PPE for publicity, when it turns out the clip he edited, and you could clearly see that Pence was carrying in full boxes. Just tons of fake news this week, Rob.
Yeah.
Is the media getting bored, or is this just the norm?
This is a norm, unfortunately, and we got to do a shout out to you, Andy, because President Trump retweeted one of your tweets when Chuck Todd being busted.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's excellent.
Right. Congratulations on that. So we see that he is looking at our tweets because we support him. Now, as far as the media being bored or just sloppy, I think this is just the norm. They don't care about the lies. I mean, the Washington Post printed a piece saying that the coronavirus, look at what it's doing, it's getting rid of all the men. Like, are you serious? I mean, these people, they don't care. It's by any means necessary. They want to defeat this president. To come out for Chuck Todd to edit a piece about William Barr, for Jimmy Kimmel, who is this guy? These are the people that liberals get their news from. Jimmy Kimmel, a two-bit comedian? No, maybe he's funny. I don't watch him because I have a difficult time watching people who are trying to insert themselves in politics. and they know nothing about it, but they think that they're better than everyone else and that we should listen to them. No, we should not, because they have jobs. And if their jobs were to shut down, the first thing they would say is, we got to get this thing back open. Why do you think a lot of these people are Skyping from home or Zooming from home? Because they want that paycheck. But yet still, they want America to stay shut down. Folks, I mean, I don't care if you don't like the president, but if you like yourself, you got to be aware that the fake news media, as Trump coined back in 2016, they're alive and they're active and they're trying to destroy the republic. They don't care anything about us. They're consistently lying over and over again. I mean, you look at, what's the guy's name, King Cuomo. I mean, he came out saying that stay inside, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And now he's coming out, no one has questioned him on the whole nursing home scam, whereby the COVID-19 is on the rampant because of decisions that he made. And when the question was put to him, he goes, oh, I know nothing about that. It's like, really? And of course, the media, they don't pressure him on it. They don't push him on it because they don't care. This is by any means necessary to get Trump out. And you would think, if you have the vote, just vote him out. But that's the thing, they don't have the vote, and they're afraid that you, the voter, can't make the right decision because they think that you're dumb and you're stupid. So they want to make the decision for you. You can't trust the liberal media. You can't trust them. They're fake news.